lots of the new luxury brands use white in their branding. Even in book design, Khaliya was telling me, Khaliya is a colleague, she's a professor of arts at university, Kamena, and she's a book designer. So she was telling me there's a research in white covers, embossed white on white, Kamena, just to convey this sense of luxury, seriousness, and then minimalism as well. When you use white in branding, it's like you're giving space to the chemistry, to the formula, that the product itself is a high-end product. You don't have to نعمل مهرجان الحب والصداقة عشان نوري الناس إنه هو product عظمة. Aqua di Parma is one of the brands that uses white as their branding. مش هطول كتير إن شاء الله. أنا نسيت البرزنتيشن بس أفتكر ما فيش كتير قوي. What's neuroaesthetics, and is neuroaesthetic a thing? So neuroaesthetic is the science of actually knowing with data if our environment, if our space, if color is affecting us. It's about what's happening around us. And I'm going to watch a small movie by Google Design. ممكن يطلع لكم اعلان دلوقتي، انا اسف عشان ده من يوتيوب، انا ما عنديش يوتيوب بريميوم لازم اعمل كده، بس يمكن ما انا اسف.
Hey there, fellow developers. If you're looking for a tool that makes API debugging, testing, and documentation fun and effortless,
what are the boundaries of design?
È molto bello per esempio andare a vedere questo che viene sul pavimento, su nei piedi.
You should be bold. You should have the courage to be utopian.
Poetry is in the heart of man and is the capacity to go into the richness of nature.
Is design a creation of an individual? Does design imply the idea of products that are necessarily useful? I really believe that on farmers given.
We recognize that every human being is completely different from the other.
It's really about trying to make an empathic connection with people in their context.
Decoravano con fiori per tenere l'anima attaccata al cuore.
Galleys reacted to design.
This year's I'm wrong. هنطلع منها 6. This year في كايرو this year في ميلان ديزاين ويك جوجل كانوا عاملين an amazing installation. Google Design specifically. It's an immersive color installation. And طبعا كان في يعني آلاف من الناس queuing, and then anyways we queued for a long time and we got in, and actually it spots كده مربعات تيجوا بتقعدوا قلبهم كل مربع بلون and then there's a sort of a music that indicates that you have to leave and go to the other pod. It was fantastic. وبتقعدوا هناك دقيقة أو دقيقتين and then بتحسوا إنه شعوركم بيتغير depending on the color where you are sitting. Actually اللي كانوا بيعملوه جوجل إنه بياخدوا data يشوفوا they were sensors sensing what you are feeling. How long are you breathing? How long are you staying in a space? How long are you moving? And they're collecting data to understand how color really affects you, because they wanted to use this in their UX UI. جوجل من 3 أو 4 سنين غيروا الهيو بتاع اللون الأزرق اللي هم بتستخدميها. لما when you search bar بيطلع لك you click on it and they got an increase of 200 million clicks when they changed the hue, because the purplish hue was less appealing to people than the blue hue. Facebook الأزرق is your friend. أنا لو قلت لكم دلوقتي حضرت TEDx talk مع واحدة بتاعت ألوان، طلبت من ناس كتير قوي يطلعوا ورقة وقلم ويرسموا اللوجو بتاع واتساب اللي احنا نستخدمه طول الوقت. احنا مدمنين واتساب. انا مع سبيسيفيكلي هنا بيعملوا شغلهم كله على الواتساب. يا جماعه ابعتوا لي ايميل وحياة اولادكم، انا بتوه. انا بعدين I'm not a person who connects الواتساب. كلكم يكونكت الواتساب على الكمبيوتر بتاع الشغل ازاي يعني؟ انا مش فاهم. فبس and I lose track of things. Not a single person in the audience, there were like 500 people, knew how to draw the WhatsApp logo. Everyone knows إنه exactly it's green. And when you look at the blue, عشان كده تويتر يعني literally first few weeks لما غيروا من تويتر من blue ل black, visiting people dropped severely because people could not find it. So color does affect you emotionally. كنا بنتكلم على الأصفر that you cannot escape it. The yellow bus is yellow because you cannot escape it. You see it. مش لون هيقول لك يعني مش لون خجول. It is there. It's in your face. It's this is why yellow is on buses. Neuroaesthetic is a science of studying, of collecting data, مش علشان to improve humanity. It's like everything else to make money out of you, because you are the most expensive commodity. Your attention is the most expensive commodity. But it's extremely important to affect you. لو هي كتابة كتير قوي ما تقروهاش. بس it's all about marketing, it's all about branding, it's about how you recall things, how you remember things. I'm going to give you a concrete example. What do you see here? حد قال ايه؟ Red Bull. Exactly, thank you. Red Bull were so intelligent إنه دلوقتي لما بتروحوا يعني when they chose the colors blue for the serious silver, I think blue is trends, and then the red is for the bull, and then silver is to give it a little bit عشان هي غالية شوية. ف you immediately have this connotation in your head بالألوان على طول immediately. بتشوفوهم. Caterpillar هم كانوا actually لونهم جراي وفي خط أحمر. Caterpillar became an iconic لما راحوا عملوا rebranding استخدموا اللون الأصفر لأن you cannot skip, and then عملوا اللوجو بتاعهم, and then they used yellow, and then Caterpillar became one of the most iconic brands in construction. Red can be cheap and red can be super expensive, and the difference is really few degrees of blue inside the actual hue of red. It can be Ferrari or it can be Coca-Cola. بس literally انتوا لو شفتوا عربيات دلوقتي من غير ما تعرفوا البراندنج مش لونها احمر وشكلها you're going to connect it immediately to Ferrari. And if you see the can of bread without any logo, هتعرف انه Coca-Cola. This is how strong, and this is what marketeers and this is what brands are trying to build on. So this is why neuroaesthetics is extremely important. لأنه أنا كمان if I knew how to choose the right colors للمطعم ده والfurniture والإضاءة والmusic, هخليكم تقعدوا اكتر، هخليكم تشربوا اكتر، هخليكم تطلبوا اكل اكتر. ف color is a very important cognitive trigger. يعني that will experience human beings that function as a powerful information channel. I'm preparing a full-fledged very aesthetic presentation. عاوز اعملها في كوفنتري، مع دكتور ابتسام اني اعملها في كوفنتري يونيفرسيتي. فمش عاوز احط كل الحاجات هنا. كنت النهارده بس بما انه بدي ماستر كلاس عن الألوان كان مهم قوي to coin the terminology. تعرفوا يعني ايه نورو aesthetic؟ لو في ما بينكم architects وفي ما بينكم architects، القدر ما بيجيش بالاخير، القدر بيجي بالاول. زي ما بتفكروا بالفاونديشن وبالكونسبت فكروا باللون. لو انتوا بتشتغلوا براندنج فكروا باللون. لو انتوا فنانين تاخدوا صور فكروا باللون. بون غير انه انا بدرس في الشغل مع GLC I do color forecasting. في فيلم صغير انا بحبه، اتمنى بس انه ايه ما يكونش فيه عيب. So less than a minute.
Of the war in Greece over Victor with Shimon with the map here is duelist.
color forecasting أو نعرف إيه الألوان اللي هتكون موضة. هو مش حاجة مبنية على محمد بيتية بيحب الألوان جرف الألوان فهيروح يقرر إيه ده اللي هتستخدم السنة، ولا مرسيدس ولا فولفو ولا ديور أو فالنتينو. It doesn't take a person, it takes an entity, an army of people from all around the world. Color forecasting هو the science of knowing the colors that are going to be in before they are in. فاحنا الالوان بتاعت 2025 هحولها لكم دلوقتي اتعملت ب 2023. يعني actually ابتدينا البروسيس. مهيرة هي تصور لنا كل حاجه، فده موفيز يو سو هي مصوره وترنيم كمان. these are me. color forecasting is about knowing the colors. في حاجات تاخد سنه عشان تتعمل. في political aspects، في environmental, geographical, sociological aspect. Color forecasting هو it's an anthropological science for me، لأنه لازم تعرفوا إيه اللي بيحصل في العالم، إيه how you pick up the trend of things. الناس بتاكل organic، ناس مش عاوزة بتستخدم كيس بلاستيك أو عايزة بلاستيك، ناس بتشوف أو بتدور على الكيس البني مرة تانية. These are things you start picking up and then شوية شوية في ناس كتيرة بتبتدي تعمل نفس الحاجات. احنا we come from different parts of the world، من اليابان، من الصين، من ايجا، من ميدل ايست، من افريكا، يوروب، وكل واحد بيجي مع القصة بتاعته، كل واحد بيجي مع الالوان اللي شايف انه شافها كتير قوي، حس بيها كتير قوي. بعدين بنحطهم كلهم على بعض، نبتدي نتناقش ونشوف ايه السيميلاريتيز ما بيننا وما بين ما بين بعض. and then we break them down to narrow them to around 40 colors and then into 4 stories and then we start creating the narrative for these stories. قبل ما اوريكم 2025 في يعني تلاميذي بيسألوني color of the year. بانتوني عندهم access على الانك. بانتوني بيطبعوا كل العالم كله بيطبعوا بيستخدم بانتوني. فبانتوني عارفين اكتر مننا scientifically ايه الالوان اللي بتطلب اكتر. based on that كمان على it's very political. يعني color of the year بتاع 2024 بيتش ابريكوت، ايه اللون اللي ملوش طعم ولا مساسه ولا يعني ايه اللون ده يعني ريلي. بس قال لك علشان في حرب في اليوكرين وفي حرب في روسيا وفي حرب في غزه فمش عارفين نزعل حد، فهم يعني بروبلي كانوا عاوزين يعملوا اصفر وازرق اللون color of the year عشان يوكرين. ايش طبعا انا I'm totally against the wars، بس بما انهم مش قادرين يعني غزه فنعملوا بيتش seriously. يعني ده اكتر حاجه طلعت معاكم، عشان كده I don't believe in color of the year. I believe in color trends لأن there's a science to it، بس I don't believe in color of the year. بس قشطة it's a way to do commerce زي فالنتاين، بنحب بعض وبنجيب ورود حمر يوم مرة واحدة في السنة seriously، يعني عيد الأم النهاردة طيب ما it's all commercial, it all goes back to money. Even the company that I work with to create color trends الهاشتاج بتاعه هو color sets. You always need to understand this side of why we do things. 2025 هي a year of turbulence and a year of not knowing what's gonna happen and what's happening in the world. دي مجموعة الألوان اللي هتشوفوها، هفصلها لكم شوية. هيكون في lots of blues and greens. greenish bluish green. ليه؟ علشان المية هي حاجة من الحاجات اللي هتبطل موجودة في أماكن كتيرة في العالم. يوروب شهدت أكتر سيزن دراي ليها، في floods بتحصل بس مش قادرين نكولكت المية، بتروح المية دي كلها. فالمية هي one of the most important commodities and one of the most sought after commodities. فالألوان كلها ليها علاقة بالمية بس not clean blues and not clean greens. هما يعني فايتين مع بعض. Definitely we always have a color to balance. We always have a neutral color في color trends بتاعتنا. But this is where this is where liquid came from as a story. طبعا الجرين مكمل معانا 25 26 احنا طبيعة sustainable، ويا ريت ما نستخدمش كلمة sustainability كتير قوي عشان حسيت we're overusing it، بس it is what it is. Second color scheme احنا سميناها antipod. Antipod is about الدايكوتومي اللي جوانا، الشعور المتضاد والمتصارع اللي ما بيننا كبشر، اللي هو at the end of the day makes us بشر. الحاجات اللي بتفرقنا بس هي بتجمعنا من نفس الوقت. الألوان the two dominant colors هما شاهدوا اللي هو yellowish green. This is a color that I've seen a lot lately, people wearing it everywhere. And purple كمان. They are contrasting colors, complementary colors, and a lot of aubergine actually and green that you don't see because of the quality of الهيدا. But purple, you're going to see a lot of purple and a lot of chartreuse green, which is yellowish green, lemony color. Third color scheme is within. It's earthy colors. It's soft earthy colors, low chromaticness. كمان أشياء ما بتلوثش كتير قوي. It's about us wanting to feel comfortable. It's about us wanting to be hugged. It's about us بنحاول نهرب من الإيمجز اللي عم الحرب والدم والدمار والهيدا. It's our refuge to كانوا يعني هول الألوان كانوا فايتين مع حالنا على السبا، مش يعني عم نضايق حالنا. There's a beautiful bright yellow. There is a dark lavender. I'm not gonna call it purple. In there, and you're going to see it a lot in products and furniture and fashion كمان. But you're going to see chartreuse. Actually, chartreuse started a while ago. Last but not least, ethereal أو grace. لو شو بالعربي ما أعرفش ليه لو شو سميتها، بس this is what happened to me. It's about the fusion between AI and reality. أنتم يا جنس تتحكمون في العالم، وأنتم لا تدرون مدى أهميتكم في هذا العالم. كل شركات البراندنج وكل شركات الكوميونيكيشن وكل شركات البرودكتس عم بتحاول تاخد الاتنشن تاعولكم. انتوا اكثر عالم قاعدوا قدام السكرينز، فانتوا you are their highest bidders اذا بدكم. الألوان are very are pastel, purplish light pastel, very airy. It's it's a color scheme that tries to capture AI in real world and AI at the same time. Yeah, these are the color trends. وأخيرا وليس أخيرا عشان طولت عليكم. Color in context. I'm gonna show you a few examples. wow. I want you to watch this. بتسرع شوي.
Realizing this and being that the Middle East is booming in one way, you have some issues and problems that you need to solve. But in one way, things are moving in many areas. So quite interesting that will happen. The process of color design is important, but my recommendation, what I always tell people, is that it's not a matter of choosing a color. You have to make color as an integral part of your design from the very beginning. It has to be a vision that your product, your space that you're designing should have a specific color direction from the very beginning. And what I always tell people, something that people have to remember, is that the first thing that you perceive when you come into a room or when you see a product is a color. That means that in a microsecond you will make up your mind whether you like something or not, depending on the color only. This is how important the color is. So the form, the function, the quality comes afterwards. And many times, of course, yes, I want to buy this specific brand, this quality, and I buy it in spite of that I don't like the color. But imagine that you can make the color that you like that people like from the very beginning, then it'll be successful. So my first advice is to make sure to integrate color in your design process from the very beginning. Don't leave it at the end to make, what color should I use? Because it doesn't make sense. Color is one of the most important features of our design. We have worked with GLC for some time. GLC makes reference to the NCS color system for the products to make sure that people understand the colors that they sell. As you know, GLC is one of the most important coatings companies here in Egypt. And Mr. Mohamad Baitie, that I have known for many, many years, even before GLC, who invited me to come here, which is fantastic because he's doing something that is so important. He is bridging the industrial community with the design community and university world. Because one of the things that we always say is that people need to learn about color in school. And when you study architecture and design, you need to learn color. And here in Cairo at the American University, you have implemented color education, which is fantastic. It will make life much more beautiful for most of us.
I haven't seen the rest of Carl Bertelsen is the head of color at NCS. NCS is the National Colors Institute. It's like the most important color standard platform in the world for any architect, any designer, anyone في أي مكان في العالم هتروح تشتروا دهانات هتديهم ريفرنس للNCS. كارل اشتغل مع أهم براندز في العالم على الألوان بتاعتهم، اشتغل مع جوجل على الألوان بتاعتهم، اشتغل مع سوزوكي على الألوان بتاعتهم برضو. فاستضفناه السنة اللي فاتت واتكلم عن أنا color talk. وأنا كنت حابب أوريكم بس المقطع عشان it's very important that you integrate color from the beginning. I'm going to show you several examples of color and how it changes the perception. This is color in workspace. Your workspace can be white, and then you can use color actually to define the floors. مش لازم نحط الألوان في كل مكان، في كل الحيطان، في كل خلينا نكون معرض عن الحب والصداقة. ممكن يكون dedicated space for color and it makes the entire difference. This is Medibank. This is a bank. البنك والبنوك عادة بيكونوا أماكن super boring. دلوقتي أغلبية بقاع الأرض محدش بيروح البنوك anymore. Everything is online. بس يعني ده الهيد كورترز الجديد بتاع MSF بتاع سان فرونتيير Doctors Without Borders في جنيفا. They used color علشان يوروا ال different races of humanity, translucent entirely as a building, prefab, completely sustainable. So even البانلز دول الملونين they generate طاقة للمكان. ده المكان من جوه epoxy على الأرض، ما فيش ألوان. As you can see, very colors probably are used to define spaces, but the color comes from the outside and it changes completely. It's like a human being. It's a constant metamorphosis in there. ده مطار ميامي، ما كانش عندهم فلوس حبيبتي، عملوا تغيير فجابوا artist مع vinyl stickers and used vinyl stickers to put them on the glass, and then it literally completely changed the perception of how the airport is from the inside. This is a stadium and بسويسرلاند ما ينفعش نروح نبني مبنى في مكان من غير ما الناس اللي ساكنين في المكان ده يوافقوا على المبنى، فبيعملوا ريفراندم على كل حاجة. there was a very big debate إنه إحنا هنبني ستاديوم ده إزاي وإنتوا هتبوظوا لنا الأخضر وإنتوا هتقطعوا الأشجار. when they showed them the plan and they felt إنه الستاديوم ده وكأنه تكملة من العشب اللي طالع من الأرض، it's literally not seen. دي مدرسة في ألمانيا اللي عملوه إنه كمان they used spots of color to create a space for children for students عشان not to feel bored, to like to go to school كمان. they used yellow على الأرضية من تحت علشان ينوموا. هما في أغلبية الوقت ما عندهمش شمس، مش كل الناس محظوظة زينا. and then orange, greens, and then the colors are to define the grades 1, 2, 3. أنا ما أعرفش الجريدز إيه عندكم. This was an experimental kindergarten in the south of France, and actually لونوها pink من جوه كلها, and pink is a color that relaxes you a lot. فالأطفال حبيباتي كانوا بيرجعوا البيت ما حدش بيعيط، هاديين. فالأهل literally they were worried about the kids. طبعا كل عندهم kids بيتمنوا يبعتوا أولادهم على الكندرجارتن. مش فاهمين مش فاهمين اللي بيحصل. أعطوا في الصريخ. This is a university in Norway where they've actually used acid colors on the exterior and an acid orange on the interior. It's actually an irritating color that they used. ليه استخدموا acid orange all over؟ علشان مش عاوزين الناس تقعد فترة كبيرة برا الفصول أو برا اللايبراري. They wanted people to go to a comforting place which is the library. Everywhere outside was really an acid orange. This is a new experimental school in China. ما فيش classes. هو في مدرجات أو في ناس بتعمل حلقات ماس شوية على بيولوجي شوية على فيزيكس شوية، والأولاد بيروحوا بيقعدوا مطرح ما هم عاوزين. They're experimenting with it and they used color to decode, separate the space. Children's Hospital in Brisbane in Australia. طبعا أي ولد أو راجل كبير في السن زي ما بيحبش يروح المستشفى. period. مش عاوز أشوف الإبرة ولا حد يعمل لي تحليل دم ولا أي حاجة في الحياة. I can imagine children اللي عملوه بالمبنى من برا they used the same colors as the trees in the park next to it. It became as an extension to the park. ما فيش ألوان هنا في إضاءة. من جوا this is the interior of the hospital. Yes, you might say it's a lot. بس يعني. And this is the children's clinic in I think it's in Ireland or in London. بس كمان you don't have to paint. You can allow light to do the coloring for you. And it changes the psychology لأنه كمان الألوان عم تتغير من جوا، الشمس عم تتغير من جوا. There's a beautiful play of light that makes it interesting for kids. Voila. Another children's hospital بس المرة دي في كولومبيا. الchildren's hospital دي كانت كلها أبيض زي ما انتم شايفين، بس كان في وسط البارك. فالأولاد بطلوا يحبوا يروحوا البارك مع أهاليهم علشان كانوا خايفين إنه تحطوا المستشفى وش يخطينا البارك. عملوها as if it was a boat, and I love the idea. This is the hospital من جوا. This is the most photographed restaurant in the world. It's called Sketch in London. India Mahdabi was Persian Egyptian designer. Her mom is Egyptian, French national. That she did it. She spent 6 months trying to pick up the code of pink للمطعم. والسنة اللي فاتت غيرته وعملته أصفر all the way. And I like the yellow. It's a bar in I think it's in شو اسمه Santorini. Yeah, I love how they used the blue and white of the island, but they did it in a super modern way كمان, and a very interesting way. This is a mall in Malmö in Sweden. الألوان الوحيدة المستخدمة هي to define the escalators. فكمان they changed, they made a very interesting experience for shoppers عشان ما يزهقوش. This is a weed shop in Toronto. حشيش. مش بهزر. It's legal. فاللي عملوا سوبر ماركت يبيعوا كل البرودكتس and they actually used the color. But they wanted to use a color that makes it familiar for people to use it, and it's okay to use it. So they used the mint green or the color of weed. It's called Schubheit. This is a museum in Germany. Intervention بتاع designers كان بالألوان to define the space. So مثلا anything blue is where you can look for information. Anything that is red is separation between spaces. But at the same time, absence of color is beautiful. It all depends on the architecture. It all depends on the light. This is Piero Lissoni for the Ritz-Carlton Miami. And this is Patricia Orkula in Sixtenses in Rome. Patricia Orkula as well, the opposite of what she did before. Friends Hotel in Milan. This is the Acne shop in Paris. وده مكان في ساوث كوريا بيصلحوا فيه الحاجات بيسمينه جادجت هوسبيتال. تليفوني عيان باخده هناك، كمبيوتري عيان باخده هناك، نظاراتي تتكسر، بيصلحوا أي حاجة في الحياة. And last but not least, the power of color. Daniel Lee, who is now the art director or the creative director of Burberry. عشان كده Burberry إذا بتشوف بتتابعوا البراندنج رجعوا على اللون الأزرق القتيل بتاعهم everywhere. Daniel Lee Bottega Veneta كانت براند عمالة تقول شوية. It's a fantastic brand, but it's not appealing to the youngsters anymore. So I started infusing the emerald green everywhere, and that became the color of the brand associated with it. Pierpaolo Peccioli, ex-creative director بتاع Valentino. Valentino is known for the Valentino Red. I wanted to create a movement where he's focusing on humans rather than on the brand itself. He used to have full shows with the Valentino pink, and then became a sensation all over. طبعا the most famous engagement box in the world, Tiffany blue. في ناس Tiffany is a jeweler, jewelry maker بأمريكا, والfounders جابوا a specific shade of Tiffany blue. It's called egg blue actually. And then طبعا مدام هيبرن عملت البراند ايكونيك ببريكفاست at Tiffany's. And then في ناس كانوا يروحوا على المحل عاوزين يشتروا البوكس فاضية علشان هم حابين البوكس باللون ده. Actually, whenever you think of Tiffany, the first thing you have in your mind is the blue, and this is the power of color. وأخير أنا كان عندي حاجة بس maybe I can skip. إحنا الوقت we're done. Thank you. هوقف بعد كده، كنت عاوز أعمل حاجة تانية بس anyways. Hermes is very known for their orange that happened by accident after World War. ما كانش في عندهم كرتون لونه بني. The only available cardboard can orange, and that became an iconic thing for them. I'm gonna stop here علشان أنا أخذت كتير من وقتكم. كنت عاوز أوريكم حاجات عن بالسينما بس قشطة. I hope إنه استفدتوا. if you have any questions أنا موجود معاكم هنا وبرا، موجود كل يوم في my design طول الوقت. I really hope it was beneficial ومحدش زهق منكم. Thank you very very much.